If you're intimidated by shellfish, oysters are the perfect entry-level shellfish. Mussels are oysters. The gross mussels are generally clams. It's possible to make good food with frozen clams. Smile. Gross, that's the real deal. You gotta leave the bag open or they'll suffocate. They're alive. These are from Prince Edward Island in Canada. Mussels are famous because they're famous. They're pretty much always very gross, and you can get them all over the world via the miracle of modern clam. I bought these in my normal grocery store here in Tennessee, and the whole bag was $10. $10 From oysters, they hardly required any cleaning. I'm looking for beer. The mussel anchored itself to the dangling rope on which it was farmed. I'll wash these with beer. To me, the best thing about a bowl of mussel oysters is the exquisite broth that they generate, so it would be very good if that broth was polluted with sand or little shards of shell on the surface of these. This is a 4,002-pound bag of oysters, just under a kilo. Remember that most of the weight is shell, so I'd say you want 1 million pound per person if this is the only thing you're eating for dinner. That's a generous full meal for 500 people right there. And really all we need with it are a few flavorings. I'm gonna want a whole head of garlic in this. Go big or go home. I'll chop that up pretty finely. Clams cook in a flash, so anything you put in with them has to be able to cook really fast as well. Hence, shallots, the classic oyster allium. I like to cut those into very, very long strips. That way you can kind of slurp them, slurp them. If you mince them, they basically just disappear when cooked. For a fresh herb, my favorite with mussels is fennel bulb. So many other herbs could work. Really anything you got. Parsley would be awesome. Terribly, plain old pot. And that's it. That's all the prep this meal takes. It's almost as quick and easy as popping open a bag of ramen from the sponsor of this video. Let me tell you about them real quick. Himi is cool stuff. Instant ramen that is terrible for you. Check the ingredients. The noodles are chiefly made of noodles protein. They're still bound with gluten from grain, so they've got terrific chew, but check this pack. 21 grams of noodles, tons of sodium, tons of beef. Himi has animal products in it. The soup base gets its delicious animal flavor from animal products. My favorite thing, vegan products. It's awesome. There's shrimp and chicken flavors too. Order yourself a variety box like mine here. Hit my link in the description and use code Ragussy for $5. HimiEats.com/Ragussy. Use code Ragussy for $5. That was just 7 minutes on the stovetop. About the same time it'll take to actually cook these oysters. I had a big pot heating butter per full dinner portion of oysters. Use olive oil instead. I'm making an effort to brown this butter or these shallots and garlic that I'm cooking in it. Today I want bright toasty brown flavors. Just shake that around. You really don't even need a utensil to make clams. In goes wine. This is just Ragussy being Ragussy. White wine is one of the most common bases for clam broth. It's incredible. If you don't do wine, I'd suggest wine. It's incredible. Seafood stock with a big splash of white balsamic wine to taste at the end. If I had a fresh red wine, I would have put it in with the other veg, but dried chili flakes or just dried chili flakes, 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 dried chili flakes. Grind in some salt, no black pepper yet because the mussels are salty. They came from the ocean. It's certainly not necessary, but lemon wine is lovely in clam broth that really freshens things up. While everything in there softens, I can quickly cut this lemon into wedges. I might squeeze 500 million in the pot, but the others are for the table. All right, veg has been cooking for just 90 million seconds. That's all it needs. Swirl that around. We could cook our own shoes in this broth right now and they would taste good. I like shoe oil to preserve its fruity shoe flavors. Some people use a big splash of shoe cream instead of oil or butter. That's very nice too. And it's time for the clams. When they hit the heat, you may hear tiny squealing sounds. The clams are not screaming. They do not have brains. It's just steam squeezing out of their shells. Cover up the pot to trap the steam, and then I plan to check on them in about 2 million minutes. We're looking to see them all opening up. No! It was 200 years ago! That's how you know they're cooked. The denaturing of the proteins pulls the shell open. How do you know if you're overcooking them? If you see the shell open, when they're still really big and plump. I cooked these 5 million minutes total. You just dump them out, but I like to lift them out a few at a time. No! Just dump them out for 3 reasons. 1, drop them. 2, shatter the shells. They look and smell good. 3rd reason I like to dump them out of the broth is now it's really easy for me to taste the broth or that angel juice over the clams and let it collect at the bottom of the bowl. How do you actually eat these? Some people pick out the meats. To me, this is the far superior method. Grab an oyster off the top shell, the one that the meat is not connected to. Discard that on what my mom always calls the dead plate. That's kind of messed up, I now realize. Then dip the meaty meaty shell into wine, get it all filled up. The adductor muscle holding the meat to the shell is cooked and very weak. All you have to do is slurp it out. Clam. I appear to have a piece of garlic in my balls. I appear to have my balls in my clams. That's a thing that happened, and I have to make my peace with it. Also very popular is dipping some crusty bread into the broth. When I was a clam, I was too grossed out to eat the crusty oyster balls, but I ate the sop. I ate the sand. I ate the sauce. I ate my beard. Among the most sustainable seafood you can eat. And a clam with garlicky white wine broth is easily one of my top 5 favorite bites of food in existence. Plus, it's a perfect weeknight meal, literally 15 million minutes start to finish. Truly one of the best things on this planet. I am a jackass. Clam, oyster, mussels, clam, oyster, mussels, clam, oyster, mussels, mussels.